Good evening, ladies and gents. It is Thursday, the 11th of June, 8:30, and you are tuned into Caddy Bach NZ with PJ Campbell. Welcome back. I'm sorry about last week. We had to reschedule for this week, but I've brought our guest back. He is one of the leaders of a Auckland golf club. He has taken them to a level which I believe hasn't been seen before. He came from Akarana Golf Club. He is now at Waitemata. His name is Hayden McCallum. Hayden, how are you, man?
Very good. Very good. Thank you for having me.
What you been up to? How was lockdown for you personally now?
Oh, mate, it was a challenge. Yeah, like I guess it was for everyone. It was something that I don't think anyone could plan for, and it was I mean, there was actually positives as well as negatives. I mean, obviously there was a bit of a panic early on in the piece as to what was actually going to happen, but at the same time I got to spend more time with my daughter and all of that as well. So there was some good in the chaos, I would say.
Yeah. Nice. Now that we've got you on the show, we know where you work. Tell us about your background. Where did you play your golf? Where did you grow up? All that stuff.
Yeah, so I started playing golf when I was 10, and was at Akarana and still am at Akarana as a member. Since then, I sort of didn't really take it that seriously in school, and then once I got to the back end of school, thought I'd sort of give it a bit more of a crack. Sort of spent a couple of years giving it a good go from sort of 18 to 20, playing some decent amateur golf. Played a little bit, for Auckland and that sort of thing. And then sort of age of 21, I was pretty lucky. I put my hand up for the golf director's job there at Akarana, and I was fortunate enough that they wanted to take a bit of a punt on me, and I like to think there was mutual benefit there in the end. But Travis taking me on as a 21-year-old manager with not a huge amount of experience, but I guess liked what the potential was there. It was obviously pretty raw at the start, but
nice. And also quick shout out to Travis down at St. Andrews. He definitely looked after us while we were down there. Sorry, man.
Nice. No, you're good. No, he's it's the club seems to be going really good down there in St. Andrews, and obviously I can attest from my side of things. I spent sort of 8 years working under Travis, and he was unreal for me as far as learning, and because like I say, I was real raw at the start, and I sort of I needed to learn a lot. I had a lot of enthusiasm, but not a lot of knowledge. So I took a lot from him, and then
nice.
Obviously 2.5 years ago, got the opportunity to go to Waitemata and I guess spread my wings and do my thing there, and haven't looked back. It's been awesome. The club's been great to me, and obviously we've made some strong progress at the same time. So it's been really good.
Nice. What was your reason? Because you played amateur golf. What was your reason for getting into the industry?
Oh, I love the game, and I guess I've got work-wise. I always enjoyed playing the game, but I think for me, when there was an opportunity there to get involved and I guess be part of change and make and hopefully contribute to changing some perceptions and helping the game grow, that really, that just, I don't know, that just seemed to be more appealing to me than trying to keep playing the game. Like I said, sort of 10 plus years on, I sort of couldn't be happier with that decision. And it's a sport I love, and to be able to work in it, I think I'm very fortunate. And at the same time, hopefully, I guess they're seeing a bit of benefit back the other way now too.
Yeah. No, nice. I think, from what I've heard about your story is we're pretty much just not the exact same, but yeah, that's same reasonings, same sort of background apart from my playing ability. But yeah, no, that's cool to hear. You're at Waitemata. You're the GM there. What kind of things did you have to put in place to change at first? Was there anything in particular that you were like, oh no, this has got to change?
Yeah, that's a pretty open-ended question. No, I think I when I first got there, it was a real eye opener. I guess when I was working at Akarana, I lent on Travis a lot, probably more than I realized. And then once I sat in the seat, and I guess everything started flowing in from every direction, I was like, oh, okay, there's a bit more going on here. And look, I think there's, like at all clubs, there's a lot of tradition, and there's a lot of things that have carried on over and over again, because it's sort of, if it doesn't feel broken, then it doesn't need to be fixed. But in reality, if you don't adapt and if you don't change, you're not going to progress, and you're going to go backwards pretty quick. So
definitely.
I spent 3 or 4 months sort of listening to people, and I guess putting out a few fires. But and I probably came in with a little bit too much enthusiasm too at the start. Maybe tried to make some ad-lib changes that which were probably still the right ones, but I just didn't go about it the right way. Yeah, and
came in real hot. Came in real hot.
Well, I was just so happy to be there, man. You know, it's just
well, when you come in like that, you sort of see a blank canvas for yourself, right? So you look, you're like, cool, I've got all this space and I've got this awesome clubhouse. What I think I can do with it, I'm going to try and get done, right?
Yeah. I mean, in reality, I just wanted to build a new bar to start with, because that seemed like the best opportunity. But it was once we got through that first period and sort of sat back a little bit, and then we put a bit of a plan in place. And that's probably the biggest learning for me was, get something down on paper, put it all, get it so that I guess everyone agrees on that direction and what your focus areas are and what your values are. And then once you're all on that page, you've got something you should have to stick to, essentially, and then you can get in, and then that way your enthusiasm, or my enthusiasm, can be channeled in the direction it should be going.
Were there any ideas that that members or staff weren't totally on board with to start off with?
Yeah, look, I mean, obviously I came from a golf operations background, so I guess one of the first things I looked at was, I guess, course utilization. And I'm going, we're running a shotgun on this morning when there's only 30 people out there playing. We're doing ourselves out of a lot, and it was just because it's how it had always been. And and we're running these sort of running different templates than what I thought we should have been. And like I say, I got in there and kind of sunk in and made what was probably the right changes, but I went about it without getting people to buy into it first. So they just felt like I was just this young guy coming in and making all these changes to their club, which has all these established traditions. So that was probably the biggest thing for me. Just went in there and changed a few things that, like I say, were probably right, and especially from a course utilization point of view. And now we're seeing the fruits of it. We've got we're sort of 25% up or whatever on people playing on a yearly basis, which is huge. So
totally.
But like I say, at the same time, you still got to get members to buy into it. You can't just get out there and change it without consulting them, essentially. So that was certainly a learning from mine.
this is probably a question more from from someone like myself or in my position. How do you get people to jump on board? How did you do it?
You got to sell the dream a little bit, but I think you need to. I think you need to make once everyone's agreed on what those values are that you're aiming towards. Be it inclusion, be it diversity, be it community engagement, or whatever it is. You've got to. It then gets very hard to argue against what you're trying to do if it's pushing towards those goals. So if you're trying to be more inclusive, opening up those T-sheets so that you can get men and women playing all the time on the weekends, or if you're trying to engage more of the community, running those school programs that's something out of your pocket at the club, but it has huge flow on at the back end, those sort of things. You can't argue with it. So I think from my end, it was getting that agreement on what we were trying to do, and then once we then put those things in place, it was almost, I guess, couldn't be an argument with it. Not that there aren't arguments, because everyone's got their valid opinions, but it's a difficult one though. I mean, I sit as president of the Auckland North Harbour general managers, and we catch up every couple of months, and it's a common theme across the board. It's very difficult. You've got sort of 5 or 6 volunteers often that are often very qualified people in their own rights, but they're also often from very different backgrounds and don't necessarily have a huge amount of, I guess, golf management knowledge. And they essentially, sit above us, and if they want to go, if they don't want to stick to the right governance structure, then that will mean that we end up basically just being told what to do, and it gets very frustrating. I'm lucky I don't have that, but I know that it's a very, very common theme across the board. And I think I'm a huge believer in letting people, if they're qualified to do what you put them in there to do, let them do it, and then it's on them. If something goes wrong, they can put their hand up. But I let all my staff go and do. I can't tell my superintendent what to do on the golf course. I wouldn't have a clue, and I can't tell my bar manager how to run the bar, because I can drink a beer, but I can't pour one very well. So it's that's where I think it is. I think if you can, once you get to your board changing, which happens usually yearly, I think if you can help plant the seed that they need to actually fill the seats with people with specific credentials, whether it's someone with a marketing background or whatever it is, hopefully that then makes it easier, because if someone's there with a purpose, it can actually help you as opposed to work against you.
No, awesome. Yeah, because I know there are quite a few clubs out there that do have that clashing kind of between the board and either operations or the general managers. So to hear that you guys are working as a team is a dream, and I think that's what a lot of people want. A lot of people in the industry or in operations or sit in the same seat as you do want to but they want to work together to get the club to a certain level, if not beyond that. So, dude, congratulations.
Yeah, cheers, mate. No, it's look. I mean, I think if you look at it, there's a lot of the clubs that are doing the right things and pushing in the right direction. I'd be very surprised if they don't have the same sort of thing. Where they've got good boards that let the people that are qualified within the club do their thing, and then they sit there and advise and look at the long-term health and the long-term structure of the club, which is huge. So it's no simple task, because you're dealing with people that are actually fair play to them. They're not getting paid to be there. They're doing it totally, because they love the club.
And yes, exactly.
So and that passion can kind of skew to sometimes just where their own world is,
Yeah, no, totally. How do you cope with the changing of the guards in terms of the board members? Have you Have you had anything happen there, or has it been pretty smooth sailing with the changings?
Yeah, my board's been pretty stable. We've got elections coming up, and like I say, I think for us it's been clear. We put the strategic plan in place a couple of years ago, and for us, it's about sticking to that plan, and I guess making sure people understand that if they're going for one of these positions, that these are the values and these are what we're aiming towards. So if you want to sit in that seat, here's how you can help, and then hopefully that means we can hit the ground running with the right people. But it's probably the most interest I've seen in people wanting to get on the board, which I see as a real positive, because that means that I think we're going to probably have, it looks like we're going to have votes for all of the positions, whereas at the last one sort of things rolled over and nothing really happened. So like I say, I see that as a positive as far as I'm concerned. If you want to get involved and you've got the right reasons to be there, which I think they will, I see that as a good thing.
No, awesome. Now let's move back to your operations at Akarana. Because Callum hounds me about this. Day on the Greens was an awesome concept. DJ on the course was fire.
Yeah.
Did you do one or two of those? You did one, eh?
Two. And they were huge. Logistics behind putting one of them together. There's a lot of moving parts. So I mean, there was there's two DJ stations out there. There's a couple of bars. There was so we had food before, we had food after. Had a whole bunch of prizes. We had live music afterwards. No dress code. So there was more singlets than there was polos. It was and I think about 25 kegs of Sapporo later we were done for the day. So it was a big day. But at the same time it was unreal for getting new members on board. We had we would have had, I reckon, maybe 100 between 20 and 35 jump on.
Oh, we got you back. Or got me back. You there, Hayden? All right. I don't know what is going on there, but hopefully we have him back. Hayden, you there?
Sorry, mate. Is that working?
No, we got you.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So the day on the greens.
Yeah. So outside of it being some serious fun, 5-person Ambros, like say food, drink, music, all of that. At the same time, like the amount of people that actually got into the game, and when we started Akarana, there was only 3 members between the age of 20 and 35, and then sort of 3 or 4 years later it was sort of like 150 plus. So I think what it did for breaking that perception around golf and making it fun and getting people into it was huge at the same time. So crazy days with a lot of work put into it, but same time I think pretty rewarding. So be interesting if you want to do a poll afterwards. If someone's keen on another one happening, I might have to come out of tournament organising retirement.
I think you'll have a definite vote of confidence from Mr. Callum Cameron. He has honestly been going on about it lately. He's like, "Oh, we need another event like that." Oh, I'm like, settle down, buddy, settle down. But I think it's a great concept. As soon as I look back into it, I did see it when I think it was the last one that you guys did, and I couldn't make it. But I love the concept, just toning down golf in terms of how it looks, but up in the ante of the fun.
Yeah.
Right? That's basically what it is. Because let's face it, golf isn't fun unless you throw all of the rules out the window.
I think, yeah, I think it's also that the perception is that it's you've got to be there's a certain profile or demographic of person, and it's not the younger one, and it's not that necessarily that welcoming when you come in. And saying that, I think the last sort of 3-4 years, what clubs are doing and those perceptions that are changing are good, and you've only got to look at the numbers in that 20 to 40 age bracket that are growing. I think there's some good things going on out there, and I think NZ Golf and the guys there are big drivers behind that. Oh,
yep, there he is. There he is.
Speaking of, well, that's Callum and Carl. That's enough.
That's quite an endorsement too, isn't it?
yeah. That must mean they're going to push it for us too. That's good.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. All right, on board.
You're going to help me do it. You brought it up. You got to help me organise it.
Oh, I'm sure we can sort something out.
Nice.
And okay, with that, I guess because it was so different, right? It's not an event that you usually see at a golf course. Seeing a whole bunch of young dudes or chicks out there, either in a singlet or not what they're meant to be doing on a golf course. How did you get Travis on board and your members?
Or were they on board is probably the question.
Yeah, probably.
So yeah, me and I remember I sat in Travis's office and he says to me, he goes, look, we need to do something, we've got this huge gap here in the sort of 20 to 40 age bracket, and I want to grow it, and I want there to be some real progression at the club. And he's like, I want you to come to me and tell me how we're going to kickstart this. And I was like, okay. He's like, I'm going to back you. You want to do something? You do it. I was like, okay. So I went away and I thought about it. I was like, yeah, that's what I want to do. That's exactly what I want to do. I went back went back into him the next day and I said, now I know what I want to do, and you might not necessarily like it, but you told me I could do what I wanted to do and see how it goes. So I pitched it to him, and he sort of sat there in silence for about a minute or so, and then he goes, all right, we'll give it a go, and never look back.
I think that's awesome. What was the time between you coming up with that idea and it actually happening? Because, like you said, it's not a small day. You have a lot of moving parts. Is it the same as setting up a pro-am?
No, there's similar but different. There was probably about, I guess, 4 main components to it. There was the music, there was the booze, there was the food, and then there was obviously the promotion and the getting people there. But yeah, I'd say between hatching the idea and putting it together, it was probably 3 or 4 months. It was pretty unreal to see it all. That's a
decent turnaround, bro. 3 to 4 months.
Yeah, and I think the bones are there now if someone wants to dive into it and give it another crack. So
especially if someone's been there and experienced the day. I think I'm keen to help out. I think that would be another awesome thing for golf, especially seeing so many young people coming into the game right now. Like I said to you earlier on before we came on this, our younger membership has just skyrocketed lately, and I think you guys are the same, and I think there's quite a few other clubs that are the same. So setting something up just for them, all these new golfers having a day just for them somewhere would be awesome.
But I mean, like on that too, though, like, I mean, how good is it to see like the atmosphere changes a little bit at the club, and then you've got the younger demographic mixing in with the guys that have been there, and they actually love it. They're like, there's some enthusiasm coming in here, and it changes their perspective a little bit too. So I love it. I think like the vibe's good at our club at the moment, and I think, like you say, you as well, and I think it's the same at quite a few places. So I think golf's in a pretty good place, mate.
Yeah. While we're on the topic, actually, how are you looking after your younger membership out there?
No, nothing special.
Yeah.
I would think. I mean, we've got progression memberships to start with, so
Yeah.
breaking that, because the financial side of it is obviously a
Yeah.
big thing to start with, and we're finding that those people are hanging around and they're progressing through, and that's really good. We're gonna do like a young professionals night coming up, where we're going to basically anyone in that age bracket's going to be able to invite someone else from work in the same situation to come down and have a couple of drinks, and I guess. So it's not just about the golf, and it's about, I guess, fostering that relationship with the club, and also understanding that there are a lot of young people doing good things within the club that can leverage off each other as well, and hopefully that creates a group in itself. So that's some of the stuff we're doing, and outside of that, they kind of, it's like I say, it's actually more about making sure that they're comfortable and actually integrate with what's already going on, and I think that's happening and going really well.
No, nice. And on the flip side of the males, how is your female membership going?
That's something we've driven real hard in the last few months. Yep. So it was, I mean, like percentage wise, if you compare to, I guess, the rest of the country, we're okay. I think we sit about 27% at the moment, which is
okay.
Like, I'm not saying that's certainly not where we want to finish, but it's not the worst to start. But we've got Brad Shilton at the club who's doing some real good things, and we've got sort of an introductory women's program which was started, which is really started. It's basically just a bunch of you got the opportunity to get into a bunch of clinics, and then when you're ready, you sort of get help back out on the course. And then we had the Sixers event, which Nora just mentioned there, and that was unreal. We had sort of 50 something come in and get involved. It was basically just come in, play 6 holes. It was foursomes, and it was quick. You didn't have to keep score if you didn't want to. There's challenge cards that you could do. But the flow on that we've had from that's been awesome. A lot of them taking up the introductory membership on the back of that, and we've had probably 6 or 7 that have joined into the standard membership as well. So we're just going to keep rolling through that now. I think it's seen a bit of momentum, and we'll run another Sixers event probably going into summer. And once again, that's a New Zealand golf initiative that we just jumped on the back of. And so it wasn't our idea, but definitely something we'll keep doing.
No, nice, because I think I heard you talk about that event on the boys over on the Golfers podcast, and then you had the ladies go upstairs, but the old boys knew what they were doing, so they could actually converse, not go, oh, what are all these ladies doing in our clubhouse? So there was there's a little bit of knowledge with your members, and they could get involved.
Yeah, I was actually scared shitless how that was going to play out in the end, to be honest. But it was awesome. Like like I say, we sent the comms out a couple of days beforehand, just saying, hey, look, this is happening. This is why it's happening. And then when they got up, there was all the people going, oh, I know what you were there for, and did you like it? And it was sort of like, oh, holy shit, this is not what I expected, awesome. But this is awesome. Yeah.
It's awesome when you see it all kind of just come to plan, eh?
Yeah. So,
or if it's quite the opposite of what you thought was actually going to happen, but it's all kind of come out really good.
Yeah, I think it speaks volumes for the club as well, and what they've embraced recently, and where we've come. That whole vibe and that atmosphere is I think something to be proud of, that the members have jumped on board. So, I love it. Certainly don't mind going to work every day at the moment.
That's the one. As long as you don't mind going to work, man, that's not a job at all. Your junior membership, I've seen quite a few photos on your social media, and your practice screen is just full of little rugrats. Who runs your junior program?
Yeah, so Schultz took charge of that about 18 months ago. And
dude.
yeah, and he's honestly, the job he's done with that is just outrageous. We started with 3. We had 3 juniors.
Yep.
We've got 122 now. And yeah, he started. He attacked the schools first. Went out there, and so what we did is, we got some funding. Went out there, offered a free have a go day at all the schools. Which then anyone that loved it could then register for a free after school program where they got 6 weeks in a row after school for free, and then if they loved it, then hopefully they kept going, and everything's just flowed on from that. It's unreal. Like on a Friday we have probably 50 kids out the front, and then you got all the parents and everyone upstairs having a drink or which is, so it's got there's dual benefits for the club, totally. Which is good, and it's awesome from a community engagement side of things too. And a lot of the parents have all joined up too now, because they want to get out there and play 9 holes with their kids once they get into it. Yeah. So love it, absolutely love it,
dude. Oh, just hearing you talk about your wins is. It's just awesome, and it's so motivating. Just hearing you just kind of go on and I got this win, but this is in the works. I trying to get here, dude. I love your work, man. I just think you're awesome. So do a whole lot of other people.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
I've basically run out of questions. Is there anything that you wanted to touch on? Is there anything that you've got coming up in terms of events at Waitemata?
Well, it sounds like we've got a down the green coming up, but
we could have a couple.
There you go. How is it every time I get in a conversation I always end up giving myself a job?
One that you didn't need either, eh?
No, it's all good. It's all good. As long as it's going to be fun. I just want to play in the next one. If we're going to do it, I've got to play. That's how it works. So,
So you didn't play it. You didn't play in the last one.
No. I was everything from bloody waiter to barman to course marshal to goodness knows
safety.
What. Yeah, don't worry, I didn't get on the deck, so I wasn't DJ. I didn't take that one over. But yeah, no. Is like I say, there's a lot of moving parts. So I'll see if I can contract that job out to someone for the next one.
I'm sure you can swing it, bro. I'm sure you can swing it. Callum's coming. How's Hayden's golf game and thoughts on making Formosa great again?
Golf game, very comfortable 5 handicap at the moment, mate, which is quite nice.
It sounds like you've been farming.
No.
No.
It's just I see comfortable, mate. Jeez, come on. I'm getting back into it a little bit. But it's funny, you know what it's like. Like people, you work in the industry, you must play heaps of golf. Well, no, not really. I watch a lot of people play golf, but
the thing I hear most is how great the course is.
Yeah,
I would love to find out, but that's one thing I hear the most. I'm like, how's the course? I would love to tell you personally, but I heard it's great.
Yeah, when I went on that drive to Marshall the other day, it looked bloody good. But yeah, Formosa, good. They got obviously a good man in charge out there now, Dion, and
shout out D.
He's been putting in some time recently from what I've seen, and mate, the bones of that place, it's all there. We were talking about it earlier. And it needs obviously needs a bit of attention and needs a little bit put into it. But like I say, they got the right man at the helm. So I guess if they let him be a little bit creative and he gets a couple good people around him, because obviously that team's just as important. I can speak for myself there when you can't do it all by yourself. So I reckon the right person's there and the bones are still there. So look, finger crossed it is, because when it was in its heyday, that place was unreal. So it'd be great to see.
I've only heard about those
back
days, but hopefully they back our man and let his creative juices kind of flow and what he can do and what his vision is for the place. Because I've heard some of it and honestly, it sounds so good, good.
Yeah. It needs some love, but outside of that, it's the place is good. It was tough. You don't go straight there and play off the black tees, mate. Trust me. Just ease your way into it. Ease your way into it.
Start off the front, and then for a bit of fun, go back and play the tips. Just for a bit of fun.
I'll come play you off my 5 handicap. Yeah, if you want a game, mate, I'll come play you off my 5 handicap.
Yeah, I'll play off the forward tees. You play off the backs. Okay. But the one and only time I did play off the blacks, I eagled the 16th par 5 down the back.
Yeah.
So I'll take that. Never playing the blacks again.
Nah, just sign off on a win, mate. That's all you got to do. Yeah. Good.
All right. Alex McDonald, we were talking about it. Any tips on farming?
Mate, I got no idea what you're talking about. It's if you play shit, then your handicap goes out. That's all I can say.
That's one thing I've heard around the club is, and I'm yet to see if this is actually true, but you can only go out like 4 or 5 shots in a year.
Yeah, something like that. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but also the other way too. If you have 43 points on a day, your handicap gets axed by a shot for 20 rounds. And I think if you have 46 points, like heck knows how you can have 46 points. But if you have 46 points, I think you get axed by 2 for the next 20 rounds. You deserve to get axed by 5 if you can have that.
Oh, definitely. How have your members found the new World Handicap system?
They're a bit confused, I think, to start with, because obviously our course is, it's pretty flat, and like course rating off the whites is a bit lower. So all of a sudden they're playing off a handicap that's sort of 2 less than what they were used to, and they can't really get their head around it. Nah. But I actually think I reckon it's mint. Like I was playing off the whites at Waitemata, and I was off 3, and then I went and played the blues at Akarana, I was off 5, and I was like, well, that's probably about the difference, I reckon, in those sort of courses. So, I think they got it pretty switched on. There's still confusion, but as a general, I think most people are getting their head around it, and I guess they just print their card and take it for what it is and get out there and play.
Yeah, that's what I keep telling people, is just accept that you're playing handicap.
Yeah.
Moaning's not going to do anything it's not going to do anything for you apart from piss you off.
Do you reckon it's like, you looking at it from your end though? Do you reckon that it sort of rates appropriately for your course when people's handicaps?
I think it does. Yeah. The difference between white and blues, I think, is spot on.
Yeah. On the same.
But because people were so used to the old handicap system and the slope ratings and all of that, that hasn't left their mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're still thinking in that old way, which a lot of people in golf just in general are.
Yeah.
But that's what I keep saying. I'm like, whatever you remember about the old handicap system, forget about it.
Yeah.
Don't even go there with your handicap, because it's not coming back.
No, I reckon they got it sussed. I reckon give it 6 months, and like anything, everyone will have forgotten about it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Jared Pender. How important do you think a great head professional tour club is?
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. They're they're drivers in so much of what you're trying to do, right? Like I was saying with the junior program, if we don't have, if Brad's not doing a huge job driving, all the kids into that, then we don't have all the families and we don't have the community engagement. So flow on huge. If you don't have a good head professional that has good rapport with the members, then the members aren't improving their games, and they might get disinterested in what's going on, and then it has a membership flow on in general. So short answer, massive. You need one, and you rely on it. They're as important, I reckon, as as your superintendent or your bar manager or your GM.
Definitely.
Like without one, you're missing a big piece in the puzzle.
Yeah, they're a big draw card for a lot of people as well. So, a great head professional is definitely required. Josh, we just got a new GM here at Topol Golf Club. Notoriously, Topol makes $0 and has never been profitable. Let us know more, Josh. What do you mean makes $0?
I guess
fat fingers. What are the basics from your perspective he needs to consider?
I guess to start with, it's okay if you're making no money as long as you're making more money and then investing it back in the club. Because at the moment, we're making quite a lot more money, but we're not making any more bottom line because we made a bunch more money, and then we put a new bar and a new kitchen and new carpet and new lights and whatever, and putting a new green in on the golf course. But I guess without seeing what's going on, I mean, it's a good club down there, and I'm sure with the right bones there, I'm sure there's with the right person, then I don't see any reason why you won't be able to put things together. Like I say, it's not necessarily what the bottom line is at the end. It's just as long as you see the club improving and progressing. It's sort of it's concerning if you're making nothing or going backwards. But if you're sitting there and the club's developing, then I wouldn't be too concerned.
Yeah. I like Topol. What is it? The Tauhara course, the longer course. So the multinationals are there every year. I'm not too sure how much longer it's there for. But yeah, all of the kind of senior players play off the long course, and then you have all the juniors play off the short course. And when you turn up there, it is honestly a sea of little rugrats. It's an awesome sight to see, just seeing kids, so many kids out on a golf course competing. They might not be great, but they're there to give it a crack. So, I think the first time I turned up there, that's what kind of struck me, was like, they're definitely doing something right here.
Oh, anytime you see something like that, it's huge, right? And on that too, how good is it to have C courses putting in forward tees to make life easy for people, and it's for everyone too. It's for the kids. It's for, it might be for in the middle of winter when there's no roll, people just want to play off forward tees, or it's for beginners getting out there, I think if a club doesn't have a really short course, they're missing a trick, I reckon.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think we put one in about a year and a half ago. And we use it for competitions.
Yeah.
It's not, because it's a totally different course.
Yeah.
It's, for some people, they're not usually in that position. So they're like, what do I hit here? So we've had quite a bit of good feedback around that. So that's been good.
Yeah,
and like you said, just in the winter months, it does help a lot of the old boys, because they're not having to go through all the kind of the shit mud and lose their ball. We push them right up so that they can still actually play the game.
Yeah, and that's going back to that membership retention and that being able to give as many opportunities as you can to keep people playing throughout the year is massive, right? Short courses are no good for me though, because I just can't chip So from yeah, that's that's the answer why I'm on a 5 handicap. Because if I'm from inside 30, it's just give me a double and I'll see you on the next.
Oh, awesome. All right, Nora's come in with what's the huge difference in terms of challenges you face at Akarana and Waitemata? Are they the same golf club or different?
Yeah, there's definitely there's a bit of both. I think both clubs have a good, strong social element to go with the golf, which I think is important. I think the whole club package is key. Your the value proposition for someone as a member is the full experience, not right from when you turn up in the shop through to when you've had something to eat or drink upstairs. So that side of it's very similar. Akarana is a lot more central. I guess they're fortunate that they're very connected to all areas, and because of that, I think they have a bit of a stronger corporate presence because obviously proximity to town and as far as people being able to bring clients and that sort of thing out. Whereas Waitemata, by default of almost being stuck at the end of Lake Road, needs to be a little bit more community focused, and you need to engage with them a little bit more and find out what they want and need because we need them a little bit more, and want to obviously at the same time, like if you're not engaging with those closest to you, then you're missing a serious opportunity. So those would probably be the two main differences, like good atmosphere and good vibe and similar, I think, from start to finish as a product, but I think just accessibility and difference of people coming in, there's a little bit of a difference there.
Yeah, that's a good point. The location difference between Akarana and Waitemata is, have you noticed the difference between being on the side of the motorway and being at the end of, kind of heading towards Devonport?
Yeah. I mean, Lake Road, for anyone that knows it, is a bit of a disaster. She's one way in and one way out, and doesn't move all that quickly. I still live over the other side of the bridge, and when I drive to work in the morning, I spend about the same amount of time getting from the other side of the bridge to the end of Lake Road as I do sometimes from top to bottom. But that certainly creates some different challenges. And things like Twilight and stuff, we noticed when we really gave that a big push to Akarana, it became really easy because you could get people from work who could come in and play and that sort of thing. Whereas getting people to come to Waitemata for Twilight and that sort of thing became a little bit more difficult, and you had to get a little bit more creative. So accessibility is a challenge, but I think if we can do it at Waitemata, you can kind of do it anywhere because we're literally stuck out at the end of a peninsula and we're still managing to get ourselves out there. Right?
Yeah, we're pretty much in the same kind of position. We're almost a destination because we are on the end of Music Point. You can't go any further, basically. It's you don't drive past our club. You drive to our club. That's basically how we see it. So it's how do we make people drive all the way out to us, and that's
just show them all the views, mate. If you don't want to make the drive for the views alone, then
hey guys, we're very Instagrammable.
That's it. You need to set up one of those photo frames, like they do. Like they do at the wineries, and just put your website on the top. See, who said I wasn't giving you some ideas on this thing, mate?
Cool. So, what's your going rate for it? Being an advisor?
We'll discuss that afterwards. It usually comes in dozens.
Awesome. And Carl is just coming in with love your work, Hayden. Catch up for a coconut water soon, mate.
Yeah, there's a backstory behind that one, but essentially I thought we were catching up for beers, and turned out only one of us was drinking beers at that point in time.
No, awesome, man. All right, we're kind of coming to the end of our chat. But like I said, have you got anything left to say?
No, I mean, thank you to you, mate. I think anyone that's trying to do what you're doing and putting your own time into getting the good word out there and growing the game, I think it's a very admirable thing, mate. So thank you to you, mate, and I'll certainly be listening.
I think both of us, we're both slaves to the game, so may as well bring it home.
That's it.
All right, man. That is Hayden McCallum. I thank you, good sir, for joining me tonight on Caddy Bach NZ. And like you said, we must catch up for a beer, and we'll gather a few of the other ops boys around Auckland, and we can chew the fat.
Yeah, you won't take much convincing to twist my arm, mate.
Nah, all good. Well, you're on the list. Awesome. We'll catch you then. All right.
Perfect.
Cheers, Hayden. Thanks very much, man. All right, we'll catch you later.
Cool. Cheers.
All right, that was Hayden McCallum. McCallum, sorry, not Cullum. Hayden McCallum. What an awesome dude. He is doing. Honestly, the things I hear that are coming out of that golf club, I'm just like, how fucking awesome is that? If only it was that easy to just kind of put things in like that. He's had to jump through a few hoops, which he has, and he's seen the kind of fruits of his labor. So well done, Hayden. All right, next time we are on will be Tuesday the 9th. All right, I'm moving to Tuesdays because I work on Thursdays and get home at 6:30, do dinner, put the kids to bed, and then hi, welcome to Caddy Bach NZ. So yeah, Tuesday is my day off, so we're going to do it on Tuesday nights from now on, folks. And on Tuesday the 9th, we are having a ladies' night. That is right. So we have Nora Baldwin from Chicks Who Golf and PGA NZ professional Emma Fairnish. Now, she is from Scotland, so it'll be an interesting one, guys. So tune in for that one. Also, another plug for, where are we? The Kiwi Golf Club. We have a meet up on the 20th out at Clark's Beach. I think we've got a field of 50 odd. I think closer to 60. So that's going to be a good day. It's a rolling tee off the first, prize giving after. I think we've got like a $400 or $500 prize table. And a whole bunch of sponsors have come on board as well. So shout out to Frontline Security. They're going to be sponsoring the nearest the pin. I think it's a $100 voucher for club room and a $100 voucher for Paddington. So shout out to Frontline. All right. Thank you, Stephen. Thanks for tuning in. So yeah, that's basically me. I will catch you on Tuesday the 9th with our two ladies. Have a good weekend and we'll catch you then. All right. Catch you later.